This is the Lyndsay Stafford Show.
Welcome back to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. I am so excited today. My sister, Ashley Plourde, is back with me again. We had so much fun last time that we already booked another one, and here we are today. This is not a traditional Lyndsay Stafford Show podcast. So today we're talking about all things working mom, life hacks, how we fit things in, our favorite products, our favorite things that make us be able to function at a high level. My sister is a high achiever. She is a mom of 2 young kids. I'm a high achiever, also type A personality. I think we both would qualify as a type A personality. Yes?
I get mixed reviews about that.
For you?
Yes.
I was like, not for me.
Like, people I work with think that I'm type A. People I don't work with know that I'm not type A.
Oh, I think you're very much a type A personality. You know how you want things done, and you have a very strict routine, which I think is part of your secrets.
Yes.
So I would definitely say we're both type A. We're very similar in a lot of ways. We were just doing squats to warm up. And I was like, let's do a high five. And we just started like alternating high fives without even thinking about it. But we're going to talk about how do you manage all of that? So I've got 2 teenagers. She's got 2 young kids. We're both working, and it's a lot. But we also both prioritize family and health. And so I want to talk through some of our favorite items, some of our favorite hacks, some of our favorite routines and activities. And so we're going to share all the secrets today are coming out in this episode.
Remember when we first started a podcast and we were like, our whole premise is going to be like, how do you be a working mom and still have it all? And that's because we have a lot of crossover there. Like we both, I think that a lot of moms try to be selfless.
Yeah.
And they kind of hang their hat on that, and they have guilt around things that they label as selfish. And for me, I just know I am a better person when I put my oxygen mask on first. That I know it sounds so cliche, but I'm like a better wife, a better mom, if I have my strategies, my rituals to start the day on my terms before I go inside my chaotic life and everybody wants something from me. And you really can't pour from an empty cup. So it's how do you fill your cup consistently every day so that you're not showing up as your worst self some days for your family.
I love everything you said. I agree with all of that. And I think that is one of the founding kind of principles for you and I that and I think our mom did that. Honestly, I think mom showed us in a lot of ways. Like I remember her saying, I'm a really good mom all day. And now it's my time.
Yeah. And I say that too.
Yeah. And
like,
I say it too. Yeah. Now this is my time. We say that because like 9 o'clock, obviously sometimes it's different because we have high school kids in sports, but 9 o'clock, that's our time. Like I'm happy to do whatever you need from me, but don't ask me at 9 p.m. because that's when we get an hour together before we go to bed. That's like our downtime to watch a show or talk or whatever.
And I don't feel bad about it. It's a boundary. I'm present. I will do what you need me to do, and then good night.
Yeah.
And sometimes Andy will come down and she's like, "Mommy, blah blah," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm off the clock. I'm not going to be a nice mommy right now. Like I already said good night. If you don't go back to bed, you're going to get mean mommy."
Yeah, you don't want mean mommy. And I'm pretty sure I said the same things, but I think we had that example. And I also remember, now we have 5 kids in our family. Obviously, I'm saying this to listeners. You know that. So I'm the oldest. You're 4 years younger. So I'm 24 and you're 20. And then, kidding.
Oh God, I would never want to be 20
Me neither.
Again.
Yeah, me neither. And then Mark is 4 years younger than you. And then we have Billy and Steven, the twins, that are 4 years younger than Mark.
Twin pregnancy.
Yeah, surprise. Oops, twin pregnancy. So I'm 11 and a half years older than the twins. And you are 7 and a half years older than the twins.
Yeah.
So I remember even when we were growing up, mom would be like, I'm going for a walk. And like she would make sure she got her time in to be the best version of herself. And I think having her model that was important to us.
Don't you remember, like, right after she had the kids, the twins, and we moved because dad was traveling and mom had the babies in October, and he rented a house in Chicago. We were in Ohio. He rented a house in Chicago. He probably rented it sight unseen.
He did. He read the listing wrong.
And we moved in and it had one less bedroom than we thought it had, than mom thought it had. God bless her that she didn't lose it regularly with this situation. She was constantly alone with 2 babies in the NICU. And then remember Aunt Ruth came and helped out when we moved to that rental house because Dad was still commuting like an hour a day up to the Chicago area or something like that. And she had to navigate that. But I remember once they built the house because they were building in the Chicago area.
We were living in Fox River Grove and building in Cary.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And we used to go to that site all the time. Those are some good memories.
Yeah.
Like I love a construction site, a house construction site. I love knowing about that stuff. And it was just a lot for her to handle. I remember a lot of screen time, which I'm very generous with screen time with my kids now. I don't think it was harmful for me at all. And I remember her getting herself back like around 2 years later. Remember she had the male nanny. Do you know what I was going to say that?
No,
the male nanny, Ross.
Yes, Ross.
And he would come like a couple mornings a week and she would go walk and he would help clean up and just like take a little bit of the burden of full-time momming twin babies in a new home where you don't have the support system. So that's one thing I like. The first thing I think about when people become a mom, I think like be really patient with yourself because for a couple years, you're going to be still finding your footing and you can't have the same expectation that you're going to be 100% in every area because it really does deplete you and you have to transform into a new person when you first have a child.
Yeah, you really do. And then at each phase, you have to make transformations in your life and adaptations. I mean, so I think one thing as we're sharing kind of to summarize is prioritizing what you need to feel better and whatever that looks like. And Dave and I in our marriage have a really good partnership. I know you and Andrew do the same kind of thing and maybe this is another thing, another tip is like, we can kind of tell when the other person is like needing something, like whether it's a day to relax, whether it's like.
How do you tell? You bite each other's heads off?
No, actually that, for me, it's like Dave just gets shorter a little bit with me. He's never like mean. I'm like, I can tell, I can sense that you're not like here, like what's going on. And like, I think we serve that for each other. Like we both are like, all right, I think you need like a minute to just like, what do you want to do right now? And like, sometimes it is just like having a few hours to yourself to just not be in demand. And I think that communication on how having somebody that's looking out for you, because it's hard to do it on your own, to always know that like, oh wait, I didn't do that. I need to do something. Like we recently, as you know, today, hopefully he's finishing right now, our bedroom. So we did like a bedroom refresh. And I say refresh, we had the same furniture for the last 17 years.
It was time.
And it came from Bob's Discount Furniture. And I think the entire set was like $1,700. And every piece of it is broken in some way. And we've had it for like literally, it's been from Maine to Baltimore Maine to New Hampshire to Baltimore to Tennessee, in 2 houses in Tennessee.
And what a milestone, because I was living with you when you got that Bob's Furniture.
Oh my gosh.
And things were tight.
Yeah.
Finances were tight.
Totally. We were just starting out.
You could have bought new furniture a long time ago, but just like a picture of your life now versus then, to be like, this is not stressful. It's not like we needed to do this and you had to wait until it was like absolutely necessary. We get to do this. Yeah. We get to design our life the way we want to because of how hard you've worked to get to that place.
Yeah. And I remember you asking me, this is totally a side note, but being like, when are you going to like slow down? Like you probably asked me that like 6 or 7 years ago. Like when are you going to slow down? And I was telling Dave the other day, like, I feel like we're there, but like, I'm definitely not slow by anyone's stretch. It's just that there's breathing room now. Like, right. Like I think I have so many people around me that take some of the burden with having a great team that it's like, okay, we can breathe a little bit. So we were recently doing the bedroom. I think he's finishing it today. He's putting the nightstands together and the curtains. And I was pretty strict with my budget on the bedroom because I have a hard time making like big purchases like that. And as I'm thinking about like doing this, he's been opening the boxes and putting things together and all these things for me while I'm like, doing other things. And he said, I think I haven't even worked out this week. And I was like, okay, you need to not do anything today.
I would go crazy.
Like just take the day and just do what you need to do for you. And so I think my second tip for us is like, because I think you and Andrew do it too for each other, like look out for like, what does my spouse need, and giving them permission to do that as a parent because they're also a person.
Well, your spouse knows you the best and we can, it's been 13 years, it's been 15 years together. We can start to I finally feel like I can start to identify patterns where I'm like, oh, maybe there's like a seasonal thing where it's like every December, this is how somebody's mood goes. Or there's, what am I trying to say? Anniversaries of things that can affect people. I come from like a background of studying sociology, social work, trauma, and I really think about like supporting people psychologically and the whole picture of what makes you a happy person. It's not just your physical health. It's also your mental health, your community, and your spirituality. So all of those things need to be in place. And I can start to see how the dynamics play out after 15 years and be a reflection for them of saying, I'm noticing this, maybe I can help you this way. Yeah. And of course, the same thing, we reflect for each other. Yeah. I think that's really... Picking a partner is very important. Yeah, it's really important. And it's really important to figure out how to get to that place. I was talking to somebody last week at a conference and I could just tell she was struggling with her business. And I was kind of asking her some questions and I could tell just from experience and time, because I'm not young, that there's some contention in the marriage and that's probably causing. And so I think it's important. A lot of people go through life and they're like, this is what it is. Like, we're just not ever going to communicate great. And like, you just kind of choose to be okay with it not being great. And I think one thing that we've done, and I think you and Andrew do the same thing, is really make an effort to figure out, how do I make it great? Like, I remember you saying to me at some point, I don't know, who knows when, but like, if there's one thing I'm going to do great in my life, that I want to be great, it's going to be my marriage. And I thought, I still sounds like me. I still hear that today. And I think, well, yeah, it should be. And I know that it's not for everybody, but that I do think makes a major difference, because I have this solid foundation of this person who cannot wait to hear what I did today or wants to talk about it and wants to take the burden off. And, that is so powerful. He texted me this morning. I send him a text every morning that's like something. I just say like, thank you for taking such good care of me, or like something that's on my mind that's like appreciative. And so we start our day like that with this exchange. Some sort of word of affirmation. Yes, because usually I'm up and at the gym and he's up after, after me, but we don't. You get your endorphin rush. You dump it on your husband. Yeah. It starts things good. Yeah, exactly. It's a good start to the day. But he said, like, have a great day during your podcast today. Like, have fun. I know your sister's there. I know you guys are going to have fun. It's just sweet to have that. Yeah. So I think that foundation of a partner is really a life hack with everything else that we're doing, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah. So let's jump into some of our daily habits that keep us grounded. So as we talked about, the first thing being prioritizing what you need. Second thing, having that support system. And it may not be a spouse. Not everybody has a partner or spouse, but have a friend or an accountability partner, someone. I know Dad plays a big role for me. He's my business coach. Somebody asked me last week, do you think he could coach me? And I was like, no, he doesn't actually coach business. He's just my dad. But yeah. He probably would for free. I know, because he's the most... Gives his shirt off his back. He literally is the most generous, kind person. I'm like so honored. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, Dad, you have to be like, I like shame about it sometimes. I'm like, no boundaries at all, Dad. Yeah. He did read the book Boundaries. I know. It was life-changing for him. He like told me about it. He did? He didn't tell me about it. Yeah. How funny is that? About it a little bit. I can't remember the details. I'm going to ask him. Dig him up and let you know how it came up. Shame on me, because I didn't ask him about it. Like, he reads, after I read a book in my Audible, he reads it. So like, he just continues to read my library, but I need to ask him about it. So yeah, our dad is literally the most kind, giving, generous person I think I've ever met. I mean, I really think that Dad puts humans besides himself before himself at all costs, almost. Yeah. Yeah. It really drives him. And I think that's one of the things I want to talk about, like finding what you were talking about, an accountability partner, finding what makes you feel obligated to keep up with your routine, because the things that we do to take care of ourselves are really easy to quit. This is just a fact of life. Like, the stuff that's worth doing and makes a difference is really hard to keep up with. But the secret to it all is consistency. Mm-hmm. The more that you do it, the easier it gets to do. I listened to a couple podcasts a long time ago that really shaped how I think about this stuff. One of them was about habit stacking. I love that. I'll talk about that in a second. And the other one, just the the expert was saying is specifically with an exercise routine, the hardest time, the part when it's most at risk is when you have to take a break and you're confronted with, do I start again? For some reason, that restart feels so much harder than it did when you were in the flow. So specifically, you go on vacation, you don't work out on vacation. When you come back, how do you make sure that you get back into your routine? And it could be exercise, or it could be taking your vitamins, or whatever, meditation, like anything that takes you out of your routine. Can you get back into it? So mentally knowing the restart is going to be harder, like preparing yourself to say, I'm not going to want to do it. I'm going to forget how good it feels to be in the consistent flow, and I'm going to make myself do it anyway. And setting that bar really low. So if it's working out, maybe it's, I'm going to set my clothes out and I'm going to go to the gym for 5 minutes. Like literally, I have done that so many times where I'm like, I don't feel like it, especially baby's up at night, I'm nursing, like, postpartum, I don't want to work out. Or even maybe I'm like a little under the weather, not, no fever, but just like, should I not? I'll be like, I'll go for 5 minutes. And if 5 minutes in, I want to quit, I can quit. It's showing up. And we were talking about the power of just showing up. Often just being in the right place, you can follow through on your own.
Yeah.
If you don't rely on motivation.
Yeah. I think habit stacking is a huge life hack. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
You and I talk about it all the time. Anytime I want to start something new, that's literally how I do it. I go, okay, so you got me connected to, we're going to be in true form for Ashley and Lyndsay. We're going to be all over the place with topics because we both are ADHD.
Yeah. Don't create an outline for this.
No.
Like,
but one of the things we love is the red light mask. It's your favorite product and I use it every single morning. And when you kept convincing me that I needed to, I was like, all right. So I think Dave got them the neck and the face one for my birthday. So since August, I've been doing it. And my first thought was, when am I going to do it?
Yeah.
That's going to be a routine. And so anytime I'm teaching someone or coaching someone on implementing something new or different, it's the routine. So example would be Ben's driving, right? He's going to be 16 in just a few days. And so when he drives out of the garage and gets ready to leave the driveway, my habit is I do not tell him to close the garage door until he's starting to pull out of the driveway. Because if he's missed it, I want his cue to be, I get to the end of the driveway, I close the garage door. And so we're leaving the other day and Dave's with us and Dave's in the back seat. I get to be the passenger princess with both the boys driving. And so Dave always sits in the back so I can sit next to Ben. And he told it in the middle of the driveway, he's like, garage door. And I was like, I always wait till we get to the end of the driveway because I want him to have that connection.
Yeah.
And so anytime you're starting something new, habit stacking is really important. So with red light mask being one of the things that we both do every day, I think the only time I don't do it is if I'm traveling for 3 days. I'll do it before I leave and I'll do it the night I come home.
Yeah.
And so I might skip a day. But for the most part,
it does travel pretty well.
I had it go on one time.
Well, yeah. But it's so easy to charge, too. It's just an iPhone
and
charger.
it's only 10 minutes that it stays on for. So it's just when I'm trying, I only do carry on. So like occasionally it's like, I'm not going to mess with it for one day. But it's part of my morning routine. So like I do my eye patches and then I do my mask. And usually during that time, I'm like, listening to my Bible because I do the Bible every day, listen to it every day, and then the devotional that goes with it. And then I'm usually starting laundry, making my mushroom coffee, which is another daily for me, the Bravenly mushroom coffee. I make that and then I turn the lights off in the house, like the ones that we leave on at night. And we keep this sounds so silly that I'm talking about this every day, but we have a basket of snacks for delivery drivers that we keep out all the time. I have to bring it in at night because we have raccoons and I've learned my lesson because it's been gone. So I usually replenish that in the morning.
You do that all year?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
I have had so many delivery drivers. Yeah, we do get a lot of boxes. And I've had so many people say what a difference it makes. And it's like, it's such a small thing. And now it's like a habit. Yeah. I don't even really think about it. Right. It's just, I fill that and put it back out. And so red light mask, I use eye patches every day. I also do, what's the stone that you use to like?
The gua sha.
Gua sha. So they do that in the morning and at night. What else do you do?
Do you wear the eye patches under the red light mask?
No.
Okay, good.
So I do the eye patches literally like I wake up, brush my teeth, I put my eye patches on first, brush my teeth, put my gym clothes on without like shoes and everything. I don't even give myself a minute to like, it's like you get right in your gym outfit. And then I like get dressed. I forget what else I do. I think that's it. Like I brush my teeth. By the time I'm like, go to the bathroom, get dressed, brush my teeth, it's 10 minutes and then I take those off.
Yeah.
Then I wash my face. Then I put my red light mask on.
And then you do your skincare after?
Then after my red light mask, I've got my coffee and I do my skincare while I am like, I listen to my Bible if it's not done yet. And otherwise I put a podcast on or a book and wash my face, do my skincare routine and then go to the gym.
Yeah. I think if it's not stacked, I don't do it.
Me too.
This is the thing. I've been trying to fit in longer meditation sessions. And it is top of mind, and I can't do a longer meditation session every day. It's not stackable for me. So I try to fit it in on the regular things that happen on the weekend, because weekends sort of have their own flow.
Yep.
A lot of the things I can control in the morning, I'm still doing every morning, but the weekends, it depends what we're committed to as a family, what obligations we have, and how everybody's feeling. But we do have nap time. So that's one of the things where I can usually try to fit in a long meditation session with binaural beats.
Which you last night were like, I'm going to ask you about that. So do it. I was like, that's not happening. I'm at a basketball game.
I know. I want to ask you more about that, but we'll talk about that.
We'll have
later.
to table that for next time, I guess. I think you have a different pace on the weekends where it's like not, because you don't have to be at work. So there's a little more I feel the same way. Dad and I meet, our commitment is 6 a.m. to go to the gym Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, we have to say it the night before. Otherwise, I will just start doing stuff around the house.
Weekends are optional.
Weekends are optional.
Committed.
Yeah. So I do 5 days in terms of like movement. I do 5 days of strength training. I usually do 3 lower body and 2 upper body. And I try to do 10 minutes of core every one of those days. Today, I made the decision because I had to be here early for hair and makeup. And I made the decision to do the sauna instead of core. So I was like, I'll just add that tomorrow. I'll work out Dave and I know we'll work out because we're not golfing tomorrow. So I know we'll work out together. So I'll probably get 6 days in, but I'm doing the sauna today. So that's another thing I added in this year was 60 minutes in the sauna per week. And so I break it up into 3 20-minute sessions. It's the last 5 minutes. I'm really hot and sweaty and like, I just want to get out of there. And my phone is dead at that point because it's overheated. So
what temperature is your sauna at?
151 or 152
that's
is
hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. And I turn it on before I go to the gym. So then when I come back, it's totally hot.
There,
Yep. So I do that 60 minutes a week. And it's not something I enjoy, but I'm growing to enjoy the time, not the heat, but like I have 20 minutes to sit here and shop or whatever I feel like doing.
It's like a break.
A lot of times I work, I'm on the phone with Carrie or something, but that's one thing I work in 3 days a week. So I usually do it on hair washing days.
Well, I got really interested in the habit stacking idea when I heard about this experiment they did. And it was so long ago that I won't remember any of the specifics, but they did this experiment with college kids and they gave them a book, like a very addictive book, like Harry Potter was one of the ones they gave them. And they locked it in the locker at the gym. And they said, like, you have to read this book or you have to work out. Your goal is to work out. When you work out, you can read this book. And then they didn't give the book to anyone else. So to the other cohort in the experiment. And people who had the book as the motivation to stack on top of their cardio did a lot more cardio. They were a lot more successful. And they gave other examples of pairing something you don't want to do with something that you do want to do in order to make it more appealing and consistent. So one of the examples was if you love beer and you try to limit your beer, every time you get out the vacuum and you're vacuuming your house, you can have a beer with it. And you will start to condition yourself like Pavlov's dogs to actually anticipate the reward with the action. So you can hack your brain this way to, like you're saying with Ben, the trigger for closing the garage door is leaving the driveway. So there are lots of ways that this has worked. I have a friend who was trying to remember to take their medication, a really important medication. We were all mad at this friend for not taking their medication. We're on the journey with them. And I'm like, can you please put it next to your toothbrush? And the friend tells me, I have taken my medication every day for the last 30 days because I set it next to my toothbrush. I can't believe I didn't think of this on my own. So it's things like that. You know you drink coffee every day. If you want to start taking one of the critical vitamins for your health, put it next to your coffee and then take it with your coffee. It's once you kind of unlock this concept, you can start unlocking other levels in your life. I think that you and I, a lot of people ask me, how do you stay motivated to work out? Or people ask the world. I follow a lot of fitness influencers and they're like, how do I get motivated? Or I'm on Facebook on one of my favorite Facebook pages and they're like, I really want to start working out. I know I need to. How do I get motivated to do this? And everyone who is actually doing it says, why are you relying on motivation? We don't feel like working out. You actually need
discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I'm not motivated to brush my teeth every day. Yeah. I'm motivated to not have cavities. Yeah. So I have the discipline to brush my teeth every day. So choose what you want to do. Set the bar really low and start stacking it on top of the things you've already designed your life to put into practice every day. I also think people get very discouraged sometimes when I have conversations with them about my fitness routine because it is very time consuming. I just got my Whoop
I saw it
overview.
This morning. Yeah.
And it was like 220 hours of walking and 250 of walking and 220 of weightlifting. And that doesn't count anything I didn't log, which is a lot that I didn't log. So this is a big time commitment. A while ago, I wanted to take I saw this like arbitrary statistic that was like actual athletes work out at least, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. It was like at least 2 hours. I don't know.
Average a day or something.
Something. And I was like, I can do this. And I got the walking pad and I started making sure I walked an hour a day and I did it. It was easy because I stacked it on top of other things. But I didn't start out working out 2 hours a day. I started out working out 1 or 2 fitness classes a week or 4 fitness classes a week. You can get a lot of exercise benefits from 20 minutes 3 times a week or 30 minutes 3 times a week. It really is exponentially more than the average person is doing. It's a lot more approachable than it looks when you look at someone like us who's been doing it for 15 years.
Right. Yeah. No, it's funny because fitness is, Dad and I were talking about this. There's this dad and son that come into the gym every morning together, in the boys in 5th grade. And
that's cute.
Dad's like, good job. I wish I had done more of that when my kids were little. And I was like, Dad, all 5 of your kids work out on a regular basis. Like, you did just fine. Stop being so hard on yourself. But it's really sweet. Dad always wants to like recognize people. He's so sweet. But I did not work out. I mean, when Dave and I met, I was like, the gym is gross.
You walked a lot because you had
I was in
job.
Retail and I was a store manager. And so before that, I was an assistant store manager. And so I was running around stores all day long. So I was naturally, pretty thin and I was never strong, but I was like, fine. I never really needed to work out. I remember when I got promoted to a DM and Kim Kiefer said, don't gain the freshman 15 because you're all of a sudden going to be in your car all the time.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? Exactly that. And so, but anyways, when I had been, which was right before then, and then I was promoted right away, I started going to the gym because I was like, okay, well, I have to lose the last of this baby weight. And I started by saying, I'm going to go for 21 days without quitting.
I remember this.
Yes.
I was living with you.
Yeah, you were living with me. And so I would go at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. And so then again, it just 16 years later, here we are, and it's still part of our routine. But I think to your point, it doesn't have to. A lot of times I've worked with my coaching clients and said, all right, this week or these 2 weeks before we meet again, I want you to be doing 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and 10 squats every day.
Yeah.
That's
right.
it.
That's a great starting point.
Just start with that body weight. And Mary, who I think you've met Mary, Mary has lost 120 something pounds. Maybe it's 150 actually. And now she goes to the gym every day. And it's like such a habit. And she's made this happen from something very, very small that she's morphed into a daily habit. And I think one piece that makes it easier when you're trying to do something, especially physical fitness, is an accountability partner. And for me, I have Dad. Like, we live next door. We work out together every day. That's our 6 a.m. call.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, Dave and I really push each other to be like, if we're not going to golf or play tennis, we're going to work out together. We're doing something physical together. And you have a similar story with your accountability partner.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have an accountability partner for a long time, but for me, working out was social. And this goes back to habit stacking because I wanted a community. I'm very community driven. So I did a lot of group classes. So it wasn't that I saw the same person there every day. It was that I said hello to the teacher and I got an endorphin rush and just those little connection points that made my day better because someone said, hi, Ashley, or just waved at me.
Yeah.
And even if it was just the check-in person at 5 a.m. and I was just going to the floor of the gym. So a really good way in is fitness classes because you build community from there. For me, it's about, I work out with one of my best friends, Holly, every day. I can't believe that Holly exists. Too? Yes.
We do 7 days?
We do 7 days,
wow.
Yeah. Well, on Wednesdays, I work out with Megan. So we do 6 days, but I do 7 days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just walking on the weekends.
Yeah, that's good. Isn't that such a good, I always think that's like a break. Like when days like I have a headache, I'm like, just go walk. Like it'll still feel like movement.
Yes. It's hard because it's been cold. So it's like we're playing it by ear. We're trying to, and they have a rule at our gym that you can only be on the cardio equipment for 30 minutes if somebody is waiting, which is a fair rule.
That is fair.
But we don't always know. So I'm like, let's go to my studio and dance. I keep trying to get her.
Oh my gosh. Wait, has she done it?
Dance. She says that she will do it. It's coming.
Find a video of somebody doing it and be like,
yeah,
let's
we're gonna do Peloton because I have Peloton.
Yeah.
There's a couple of dance classes.
I forgot you have that.
Yeah.
So mom came over twice this week and used our basement treadmill. So we have like an actual treadmill in the gym, and then in my office I have a walking pad.
Right.
And I use them both. If Dad and I, for some reason, like if he's traveling and I won't go to the neighborhood gym, I'll just go to my basement gym. And I use it a lot in between sets. And then the one in my gym, in my office, I use all the time. Like the walking pad is definitely, for me, it's a huge life hack for footsteps and health.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same for you, right?
It's the same for me. I love, and for focus, I have ADHD. If I need to be in a meeting that I know will be boring,
that will be hard to hold your attention.
Yeah. I'm a trainer too. So even when I'm sitting in trainings, I realize it's just hard to focus sometimes. Yeah. And the phone is such a distraction. So I try to stay focused, and moving while I am learning or listening is a great hack if you have trouble staying focused. We don't need to be focused all the time at our job 100%, but sometimes I do need that. And the movement, the walking pad has been such a good way to help me not feel stressed about trying to focus and to make it easier to focus.
I do the same thing, Ash. I mean, it's honestly like if I'm in an internal meeting, so meaning it's my team and it's not a client meeting or it's not a meeting with an external partner, I'm walking on my treadmill almost every time. And I do think 100% it's interesting because we've not said this to each other, but I have said that to people, like this keeps me focused. Yeah. It actually keeps me from being distracted if I am moving my feet, and I can walk at a very reasonable pace and get 2 miles in an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, it's not
distracted
strenuous.
by it.
Yeah. It's just happening. And that has been a huge factor. I'd like to know how many miles I logged on my walking pad this year, because I would say on average, if I'm in the office, it's probably 3 to 5 miles a day that I walk in there. How about you?
I don't know. I usually look at the steps, and I keep track on my watch too. I have no idea. I usually try for an hour, and it will kind of depend on my activity level that day, what speed I'm going at, and whether I have to talk. And then honestly, sometimes whether I feel like getting sweaty, because I sweat so easily.
Yeah. I know. It is hard. I feel like in the sauna, that's when I have to like really think about it, because I sweat in the sauna and I don't love that.
Yeah.
I know it's good for you. So walking pad, we talked about red light masks.
Another thing I really appreciate or feel like optimizes me so I can be my best and serve everyone else is nutrition and vitamins and supplements. Yep. There's a few key that I follow somebody named, bless you.
Thank you.
Rhonda Patrick. And she's very scientific, very data oriented. She talks about like some of the key supplements you should be taking. So fish oil, magnesium, of just a regular vitamin and vitamin D. So all of these things she'll outline like what improves with your cell function. Back to the red light. It's all about making sure we can kind of decrease the damage and optimize our cell function, because those are the pieces of our body. And if they're working correctly, then our body is, I don't want my body to be the thing holding me back from being my best self. So taking care of my body is the number one priority so that I can take care of everyone else. And one of those things is the vitamins and supplements. And I mean, I can swallow like 15 vitamins in one gulp. And, it's just, I take a lot of them, but I feel like they make a difference.
I hate taking pills. Like I literally hate it. I would do an injection over a pill. If you could say to me, Lyndsay, I'll put all those vitamins in a vial and you can inject it every day or you can swallow these pills, I would choose the injection all day long.
Well, you have many more opportunities to do that now because these peptides and injections
I was just going to say, it's a perfect conversation.
Common. Yeah.
I do take fish oil is one that it's such a big pill.
Yes.
So I have like the little pill separators. So I have day and night.
Yes, me too.
And I find a lot of times before I'm going to bed, I'm like, I don't want to take pills because it might not sit well in my chest. So I try to do it before dinner or like around dinner time.
Yeah.
But the fish oil is one that I'm always like, I don't want to take that one. It's so big.
You can take a liquid and put it in your
morning that sounds
smoothie.
Delicious.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It could. I do have a shake every day.
Yeah.
And part of, as we talk about supplements, I always say I use the Bravenly products, but I have Gold, which is apple cider vinegar, ginger, and turmeric.
Yeah.
With greens, which I still need to get you those because they're literally the only greens that I can stomach without feeling sick.
Yes, I haven't had a lot of vegetables lately.
I don't eat vegetables hardly ever. Colostrum, and then the protein has like all kinds of stuff in it. So I do that. And I know you do this also. What's it called? The powder after you work out, creatine.
Yeah.
So that's all every day in a shake. And then I take a bunch of the same things that you're talking about and a couple of others.
And you say that your shake doesn't taste bad, right?
No, it's really good actually.
Yeah. So this is another example. Like the things that are good for us, if we're creative and persistent, we can find ways to make it not miserable, like something that you actually look forward to.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about my yogurt protein bowl. I have been making this
I know
protein
you love
bowl
that.
for years and I love it. It's Greek yogurt, it's protein powder, and a couple of other things to make the flavor good. And it is like a cheesecake.
What else is in
dessert.
it? Because I want to try it.
Okay. So Faye non-fat Greek yogurt, 170 grams.
Can I use a different brand?
Send this to you. Well, I've tried many. Faye is
what do you
the
like?
best.
Why?
Because it's thick. It has like a really good texture. It doesn't get watery and it's not too like, yeah.
I like the Oikos.
Oikos is good too. Yeah.
Okay.
They make one that's 20 grams of protein.
Yeah, that's what I usually buy.
Yeah, I think that's similar. That would work.
Yeah.
And then 21 grams of whipped cream cheese, 12 grams.
Whipped cream cheese.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
it's like
it is
airy.
lighter. Yeah, okay.
And pudding mix, sugar-free pudding mix. You could do regular if you don't like the fake sugar.
Yeah.
And protein powder. So you mix this all together really, really well. So it forms like a cheesecake consistency.
Cool.
If you need to add a little bit of almond milk, you can. Sometimes I make it with pumpkin puree and then I put pumpkin spice in it and it's like a pumpkin cheesecake.
Huh.
I top mine with sugar-free whipped cream and I look forward to this every day. And it's about 35 grams of protein and the macros are really good. It's like 300 calories, 35 grams of protein. It's amazing and very filling and just like easy to prepare. I sometimes prepare 4 at a time.
Wow.
So I can, go in the morning, look forward to that after my workout, eat that right away, and then make lunches and feed everybody else. And I don't have to. So it's okay to meal prep for yourself too.
Totally.
Like you don't have to do this all with your family. You don't have to eat what your kids are eating for breakfast. And think about the things that you can control that don't affect the other people in your life. And that's the way I've been able to optimize these choices. Now I don't have to choose my breakfast every morning. And same thing with lunch. I usually have the same lunch every day. It's just dinner that I change it up. And it makes it so that I can easily hit my goals and not be like, oh, I accidentally gained 5 pounds this month. And now I have to work harder and adjust things.
Yeah.
Because we all just want to be able to fit in the same clothes we bought and like feel confident about who we are. We don't want to. And this is true. When I worked in durable medical equipment, it's all about insurance reimbursement. So they would give you like, let's say a walker. Somebody has to walk with a walker for the rest of their life, let's say. So they would expect, Medicare would expect that you would need the next level up walker, like that would hold more weight with a certain time frame because they believe, based on data, that adults are gaining 5 pounds a year their whole life. So then they would be like, you're going to be over the threshold for this walker in 10 years. And I saw this and was like, that is not going to be me.
Hell no.
I'm not going to have a sneaky 5 pounds added to my life for the rest of my life. I don't like focusing on weight and size. Like, I think health comes in many different forms. But for me, like, I know how I feel. And when I was heavier, it wasn't as easy to be alive and feel good.
Right. Well, I think, I've been on a journey and lost almost 30 pounds in the last few years.
Yeah.
And when you pick up a 30-pound dumbbell or 2 15-pound dumbbells, I fully acknowledge that it's not the same as carrying it on your body. But the reality of that's a lot
kind
of
of
weight.
is the same.
I think so too. But it's not exactly the same because you're, whatever. But
it's
think
distributed
about,
differently.
Yes,
it's the same
knees,
weight
the
as
joints,
weight.
all the things can be so. It's so much more pressure to put on your body, and you're less motivated to do more stuff when you have more weight. So I think you and I are on the same page with that. I want to talk about the nutrition fact, and I think there's 2 parts from what you said. One is the nutrition and being routine with what you eat. I am very boring with it's the same thing. I have a shake, and then I have, because of speed, Costco has these Starbucks fake. I mean, they do also carry Starbucks ones. I just happen to like these.
Egg bites.
They're egg white bites. And I have 2 of those and my shake for breakfast. I make my shake as soon as I get done with my workout. And then after I'm like ready for work for the day, I eat my egg. Usually Dave and I eat breakfast together. And then for lunch, usually for a snack, I have cottage cheese. And recently I've added pickles to it. And that is the best thing ever. Remember we were talking about it?
Yes, I forgot that you put pickles in it.
I bought the right kind of pickles, like the dill pickles, the littler ones.
Uh-huh.
It's freaking unbelievable.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
You're going to be obsessed with it. So cottage cheese is usually a snack. And then it depends. A lot of times I'm out at a lunch with a client. So I typically am still pretty consistent. I do like a salmon or grilled chicken salad.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I eat most times. Yesterday, I went to an AI workshop to learn how to integrate AI into your business. And they had sandwiches and salads and nothing was gluten-free. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm eating my snacks that are in my bag, which is another hack. I always have something healthy with me so that I'm never in a position where I say I have to eat McDonald's because that's all there is. And it's a choice then. It's like, do you want to have McDonald's or do you want to eat the protein? Because I always have the probiotic things, the little...
Yes, those little like yogurt bites from Costco. I love those.
Me too. And then a chicken sausage stick and a protein bar. And so I always have those with me. So I can always be fine.
If you're in a pinch,
Yeah. And then for dinner, it's the same thing. We mix up. Dinner's not always consistent. Yeah. But we prioritize protein. That's another thing that I think both of us do.
But you also prioritize family dinner. And that's why, you have to consider what everybody will eat as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so family dinner, we do talk about it. Usually on Sundays, I'm like, does anyone have any votes? Because if you don't, I'm choosing and you're going to just take what you get. And I didn't used to do that. I used to try to cater a lot more and now I don't. But even when Dave and I go out to eat, we're pretty consistent with what we eat and the portions, right? Like it's pretty rare I'm going to eat more than half of a meal. And a lot of times we end up just splitting stuff because
I know
it just, neither of us are going to eat as much.
I have a much bigger appetite than that.
I'm such a sucker for French fries. But the routine with food, I think, keeps both of us, I think, the same from having that weight creep in. But also, like, I know how I'm going to feel when I eat these things because I eat them all the time. I know how much I'm going to feel okay eating. I don't just kind of react. And I think with how fast the world goes by, sometimes you eat an entire whatever and you don't really pay attention to how you're feeling. And then you're like, whoa, I'm too full. I shouldn't have eaten all that, right?
Yeah.
So the second factor that I wanted to bring up is eliminating decisions that don't need to be made on a daily basis. And food is one of those things. So talk to us about other examples that you use, because I know you do, to minimize decision fatigue is a real thing.
Yes.
And if you think about how do you prevent yourself from having to make more decisions than necessary each day, and food is one of those. Like I don't stand in front of the fridge and go, what am I going to have for breakfast today? Even dinner, I'm like, okay, these are on a rotation. This is tonight. I've already gotten it prepped.
That's good.
This is what we're doing. I usually am pretty consistent.
I need to adopt that. We really need like a dinner calendar and then to plan the groceries and all of this. I have grocery delivery. I do Walmart Plus. They deliver to my door.
Same.
They make it so easy for me to order the same thing over and over again. So all of those decisions, like going to the grocery store when you have ADHD and you have kids with you, is really hard. Like you have to have a plan. You can do it. You can definitely do it, but you should have a plan. And if I rely on 8 p.m. Ashley to make a decision, 8 p.m. Ashley is terrible at decisions. Like she needs to be off the clock. 4 a.m. Ashley is excellent. Very good at decisions.
Me too.
5 a.m. I am peaking. It's great. But by 8 p.m. I'm off. I don't trust that person. So the decision planning ahead so that the decisions that you have to make are the only ones that you have to make that day. Like the ones that you don't expect. And when you're working and you're in a meeting and you're making decisions and you're advising people and you're determining how to spend your time for the day, those are the decisions that I want my brain power to go to, not what I'm going to eat and whether or not I'm going to work out that day, that stuff. And then you lead yourself to disappointment. Like how many times you have people who are like, I've been really bad. I didn't work out for the last week. I didn't, all I ate was cookies for lunch the last week, or I was at work and they had this. And so I ate that instead of lunch. And, when you have these options already planned out, you don't end up in that situation as much, or you feel empowered to make that choice when it happens, because it's your default to already make the good decision, and which is stacked on top of the habit.
Well, when you set up and go and say, I'll give a not food example.
Yeah.
But when you set yourself up and say, I know this is going to happen, so how am I going to combat that? And food is a great, you're going, well, I don't go anywhere to work. I'm at social things. I mean, yesterday I did go to a meeting. There's food there, but I'm gluten-free. So that for me eliminates a lot of those impulsive decisions. And I've been gluten-free for 16 years. So before gluten-free was a thing, I had been gluten-free. It was after I had been, I just couldn't tolerate it anymore. And so I've been gluten-free for 16 years. It's great. Honestly, there's so many options
that you can't eat.
And like, I'm never going to be tempted to eat a donut because they're just, I will feel horrible. So I can't do it. But I think about the barriers that we know are going to happen. So for us, like we go to Church of the City, and there's, if anyone knows, Church of the City Franklin is under major construction right now, building the village, which is incredible. But it's already a barrier for us to physically get to Church of the City on Sundays because it's about 35 minutes.
Right.
Then you add in walking from the massive parking lot, and we're talking 45 minutes before the sermon if we're going to get there and get coffee and sit down on time. I don't drink coffee, but my husband does, so he wants coffee at church. So
he has stacked that habit.
Yeah,
you go to church,
no, it really is.
You get a reward.
When he's in a meeting, that's when he drinks coffee. Like if he has to sit in a meeting, that's when he has his coffee, and which is, anyways, interesting. But we found ourselves like coming up with excuses, like, and we have kids in sports, so like a lot of times Sunday is the only day we don't have to leave our house, and we are homebodies. So we decided this year default is virtual church at 10:30 on our couch. And unless we say otherwise, that's what's happening on Sundays. And just putting that expectation and saying, this was too hard for us. Right now, it's just the season that we're in. This is hard, but this is the next best thing. So this is what we're going to stick with. And we don't need to make a decision. It's what we're doing. The other thing is it's on the calendar. Working out, whatever the habit is that you're trying to create. Today I had sauna and washed my hair before I started this podcast. And I did not feel like doing that, but it's on my calendar. So I do it because I know the smart me, when I was thinking about what I really want more, not what I want now, put that on my calendar.
Yeah.
I want the health benefits of being in the sauna for 60 minutes a week. I don't feel like doing it, but I know I should.
Yeah.
And so using your calendar and just saying, if it's on there, I'm going to treat it like a doctor's appointment and I'm going to go to it is another tip.
It's a commitment to yourself. And people I know people struggle with that. And I have friends that would show up for me, even if they didn't want to, but they won't show up for themselves. Yeah. And that's why I think it's important to lower the bar. And, as we go into the new year and people think about who do they want to be next December, I want people to think about lowering the bar and what is the entry point for that habit. Not, I want to work out 2 hours a day, but what can I do right now, like tomorrow, to fit 20 minutes of activity in? And one great example, lunchtime. Like all of us are taking lunch. We all hopefully know that it's great to get a little bit of walking in after you eat. It's great for digestion and blood sugar. This is an opportune time to do a little bit of activity right after you eat, before you go back to work. It makes work a lot smoother when you just move your body and get the blood flowing a little bit. Is that something you can commit to for 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week?
Yeah.
And then the amazing thing about being human and like the way that the world works, the way that existence works, is these things add up over time. And suddenly you've walked 5 times in a week. Suddenly it's easier to say, want to go for a walk together? And you're walking an hour instead of 10 minutes. It really, the momentum like becomes a factor in all of this. And you'll find that these small choices lead to bigger, excellent outcomes that you can't really predict. But you just have to get started. That's the thing. Make a couple of choices. The new year is the time when everybody's going to pressure you into, what do you want to change? And I know that there's a whole like narrative around, we don't need to change. Like, just be happy with who you are. But I'm obsessed with growth. And I think all of us can be a little bit better than we were last year. So pick something that actually serves you. Don't let it be guilt, but think about, what can I give to myself this year? Can I give a little bit of activity so that I don't gain 5 pounds like every other person?
Well, we're habitual, and the older we get, I love your points. And the older we get, the easier it becomes to just do what we've always done. And then you turn around and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing that. Or why? What is the purpose? And so one of my best practices is that in December, I mean, I probably drive my entire team and my husband crazy, because I'm literally thinking about every activity, everything we're spending money on, every behavior that's happening, every habit we have, how we're spending every hour. I have our trips and vacations planned for the entire year. That makes him insane. He's like, just keep me through January, please. But all of those things, I analyze, what can we do better? And I think about, I don't know if I've told you this, but when I teach, I've done this for several years, but when I teach planning sessions for months, quarters, years, I look at 6 categories, and there's 6 categories that I break down. What are my goals this year in that category? And I've done this for many, many years. It's faith, family, fitness and health, finance, business, and community. So within those 6 categories, what are my goals? What did I do this year that worked really well? How do I build upon that? And sometimes it's like, I don't have a growth goal in that area. It's a maintenance goal. And sometimes it's a huge growth goal in one area, and the other it's like, well, one thing that's important to me is one-on-one time with the most important people in my family. So who have I not getting enough time with? I'm always asking Mom, do you want to start like yoga or something together so we have something we do? We do walk together quite frequently. Not as much as I'd like, because she walks when I'm already like working for the day. It's easier if we can go early, but on the weekends I will if she wants to walk. So I think we've got to always think about, how do we get better? And when we stop trying to grow, we kind of find ourselves just stagnant, and then also not as happy. I think growth fuels that internal happiness.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of things, maybe other people have seen this, where like hospice nurses talk about what people say at the end of their life, what were their regrets. And I don't remember all of them, but couple that speak to me are like, they regret the things they didn't do, the chances they didn't take. And that I don't want to end up in that position. Like, our number one, taking care of our bodies. Our bodies are the thing that are going to eventually kill us. So let's keep our
engine running.
Our engine running as best as we can. Make sure that we're doing all of those health things. And then number 2, making sure that we're being intentional about the time. And sometimes we don't want to show up and do the things that we want to do when it's presented to us, but planning ahead is a great way to make sure that you make the decision so you don't have to make the decision
in the moment,
later.
right? Yeah. And I think you brought up family dinners. I do want to give a nod to that, because that's something that has been integral since we were children. We had family dinners growing up. It was just expected. We were eating dinner together as a family. I think when I was like a junior and senior in high school, it was probably a little bit more lax because I was working. But family dinners were
unless you had an obligation, like you were working or at a practice, you were expected to be at dinner. Yeah.
And we
were home.
And we still do that. It's not every night because I do have 2 teenagers. So like a lot of nights it'll end up like last night Isabel was babysitting and we were at Ben's game. And so dinner after the game was just Dave and Ben and I. A lot of times it's me and the boys now. It's just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And then there's every Wednesday night we do date night. So that's like the kids know they don't have to be home for dinner because that's date night.
Yeah.
But we've flexed on that a little bit. Well, we still have been doing it, but with change in schedules, it's been a little bit easier to not always have to do that. But family dinner is something that we are we stick pretty hard to that. Like we're going to look at the calendar on Sunday and go, who has what commitments? Because we have to come together as a family at least 3 or 4 times a week.
That's amazing. And it's so good for the outcomes for your children. There's all these little like tidbits about how to give your kids the best life possible. And family dinner is one that always shows up on that. Kids do better when they have these consistent routines. Yep. That's something I have never fluctuated on with my children is they are very routine. It's actually something I think people give me advice about being more relaxed with, but it's been so good for my mental health to know my kids are always going to be napping from this time to this time. And we're going to get up at this time. We're going to go to bed at this time. Like we've been over at mom and dad's. And I think one time we got home at like 9 o'clock and I was like, you guys, this is the latest you have ever stayed up. Like, it's a very late night.
I bet Andy was like, are you serious, Mom?
Right.
I can see her eyes.
It's so late.
Am I going to get in trouble?
But that's not always that every family isn't that way. But I think kids really crave routine and those meaningful interactions that they can rely on. Even if from 16 to 18, Ben doesn't have family dinner every night, he's still going to tell his friends and his kids, we always did family dinner every night. Like that's still the impression he will have.
Yeah. And we still will make the kids. I mean, even Isabel at 18, she still lives with us. So we still expect that she's going to be there. Not every night. She can communicate what she has going on. We don't expect her to like skip something to be at family dinner, but you know, we do expect there's communication on Sundays. We talk about like after church, I pull out the calendar and I'm like, all right, this is what we have going on this week. This is what's important to you. Like, what do you have on your calendar that you haven't showed me yet, Isabel?
That's
what
a great
commitments
habit.
do you have? And
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. So then I do the grocery shopping. It's like, okay, let me Instacart, Walmart and Instacart.
Yes.
Everything we need to have the meals for the week. And so by Sunday afternoon, I don't have to think about schedules or meals for the rest of the week.
That's great.
I do the thinking on Sunday. And I think that is one major hack that has helped me be successful in business because I can go into the day and I'm not worried, what am I going to make for dinner tonight? It's like, how's Ben going to get to practice? Everything's figured out. I can focus on what I'm doing right now.
Family meeting on Sunday.
Yeah. Family meeting on Sunday.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. We do that. And then another thing we do, I think that is a really positive thing is the highs and lows at dinner. The kids love that. And we have a lot of friends that come over and say they love doing highs and lows. And mom and dad are usually with us a few nights a week for dinner, at least 2 typically.
That's awesome. So many routines. I think it all comes back to routine for me in order to be successful. And I know we kind of came into this saying, what do we do in our life to make sure that we can be a good parent and a good employee? We didn't talk a lot about work, but I'm sure that your listeners have received a lot of information about work over the time. But all of this leads to better outcomes as an employee because I'm taken care of. I have a time of my employment where I'm like back to back 8 to 4 every day doing onboarding, virtually onboarding people. And for 2 years, knock on wood, this is going to be the year. I have not gotten sick once or called out once for these 3 months of just every day showing up. Yeah. And it's because I'm healthy, because I take care of myself. Because even if I have a little tickle in my throat, like the vitamins in my body are fighting this for me and I'm not exhausted. And so those things lead to me being a better employee. And there's statistics about this too, where people who are active, have a fitness routine, are better employees. They're more consistent. They're promoted more. They're paid more. Like all of these things compound into being a higher performing human. And for me, it's not about how much money can I make as a high performing human? It's about what can I do that honors this life I've been given so I can be the best person I can be and really make the most out of this life for God, for humanity.
I love that. I love everything that you just said. The whole being in the best version of you physically, why would you not give yourself every advantage?
Yeah.
Is like, I think the point of what we're saying is,
Yeah.
and you're right. Everything we talked about, it's like prep for the show of when you can show up for others and for work,
Right.
whatever your work is that you're doing. All this stuff is what fuels you and gets you ready. I do want to say one more thing about fewer decisions. I don't really think about what I'm going to wear very often. And I make that decision in advance. And that was something we learned growing up. We always had to have our outfit picked out the night before school. We were not allowed, probably because I'm sure one of us or both of us had a little temper tantrum at some point about what to wear before school. And so
only once. That definitely only happened
and
one
so
time.
it became a rule that we had to have, as kids, we had to have it picked out before. And Isabel does that still.
Yeah.
I think I don't look at Ben's room, but I have seen him. I mean, he's very particular about what he wears. And so they both kind of, I think, prep. Like even Sunday, Isabel said, "Can I wear the white aviator sweatsuit on Tuesday, Mom?" And I was like, "Sure."
Wow.
Because we share a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
So picking out your clothes and then also like having a uniform.
Yes.
So when I go to the gym, I'm going to wear the same kind of outfit, different colors. Like I don't think about it, but it is laid out the night before. So I'm literally not making that decision when I'm just waking up. What I'm going to wear during the day if I'm working at home is probably going to be pretty consistent in different colors every day. Dave's like, "Do you really need the same thing in 4 colors?" Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do actually.
That's my uniform.
Yeah, that's my uniform actually. And then when I'm going to work, I have, this shirt in 3 colors and I have the button down I like in 3 colors. I have the same shoes in 2 different colors. So I think minimizing your decisions and like figuring out, and it's probably really, I didn't get really comfortable until I was in my 40s of like, what am I most comfortable wearing? What do I like? And I think you're in the same place too of like, you're not in your 40s yet, but in the same place of like, I know what I feel good in, I feel best in, and I don't really need to like explore. Like we'll shop, Izzy and I will go shop and I'm like, well, it's cute, but like, I don't need it. It's not going to like fit in my.
I definitely feel like having a personal style is a good hack for not making decisions. And I wish that I had like done a personal stylist early. Now I feel like I'm mature enough that I figured it out on my own.
Sure.
I can like label what my personal style is. If it's not within that, then I know that it's not really going to go with my wardrobe. And also having a color palette. Like I did one of those free online color palette assessments, and now I only buy things that are in that color palette. I like them. I think that they paint me in the most flattering light. So that kind of limited my options as well. So that helps with like not being overwhelmed with shopping, which is something that I always experienced. And then the uniform thing, definitely. Like if it's not within that style, then I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to like look at things like I think our sisters-in-law, both have like really nice taste. And like I always look at stuff on Sloan. I'm like, she looks amazing. I would not be able to pull that off. Like, but I'm going to admire it on her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go try that style because I love it on her.
Yeah.
Because it fits her, but it wouldn't be I wouldn't feel right. That's not me.
Yeah.
But I think my point is it's okay to enjoy looking at a style or admire it on somebody else and not have to make it yours.
Yes.
Or experiment and try it.
Well, and we both do Nuuly.
Yeah.
Because it is still fun to experiment with new styles. And sometimes you find something you want to wear one time, but you don't need it in your closet forever.
Yes.
So that's been a good option to curb my shopping.
I totally agree. That's another hack is Nuuly. And it's $100 a month. We get 6 pieces. Isabel and I split it. So we each get 3 and it's totally fine for both of us.
And they have a great thrift option.
Yes.
You can buy thrifted pieces there if you find something that you like, and you can purchase what you have. I've gotten many items that were brand new and then I purchased them. What was I going to say about this? I can't remember.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I wore last rental. Isabel and I both were like, this was awesome.
Yeah.
I had a birthday party for a friend, one of my closest friends to go to, and it was like a pink theme.
Yeah.
I don't want to own a pink sparkly dress, but I rented one and it was perfect. It was like the perfect dress for that occasion. And I forget what else I wore, but it was like, or what else I rented, but it was occasion specific.
Yeah.
Things I know, Christmas pictures.
Yeah.
The skirt I had on, I rented 2 different ones for Christmas pictures.
Oh, that was from Nuuly?
Yes.
Oh,
the plaid.
I love that. Yeah.
I mean, it was too big. I had to clip it in the back, but I had a plaid one and a red one. I got 2 and I didn't end up wearing the red one, but it would have worked.
Yeah.
But I was really happy that I didn't buy an outfit for pictures and I didn't have to buy a dress for an event. So newly, it's one of the things as we get to like week 3 of the month, Isabel and I feel like, all right, this is, what do we have going on next month that we're going to want items for? And it's turned out perfectly to like curb that shopping.
Right.
You don't really have to shop because you.
And we do live in a community where that is consuming more than I think the average American community. So there is that pressure to like not repeat outfits. Like I literally feel that pressure, which is so stupid. But especially for an event or like Christmas pictures, you don't want to wear the same thing you wore last year for Christmas pictures. I mean,
not that maybe anyone remembers. I don't want to,
right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're on my Facebook page forever. So they are there if you want to audit it. But that's a great option to just one time and not have to own it. And then you can try something else next year or rent it again next year. I definitely think that's a good
Newly's been a really good hack. So we talked about a ton of things today. I know we're out of time, but we could sit here and talk about life hacks and everything forever. But, I think about although we came from the same home, same parents. Yes, all 5 of us kids have the same parents and they're still married. They live next door to me. We have a lot of the same life hacks and we grew up together, but we've also had our separate times living in different areas. We
found our way on these life hacks independently.
That's my point is that like it wasn't like we always shared these. Like it just kind of, it's like, oh, you're doing that too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's cool. We do share things, and you brought up the toothbrush, putting it by your toothbrush. When I used to sell Rodin & Fields and Lash Boost, I would always be like, put it by your toothbrush. So how funny is that we would both had given that advice to someone. So I think hopefully today listeners heard something that they can take into their life and just either implement something new or adjust something that they want to change or try something that makes them feel better about themselves. And worst case, you just heard from us that like, it's okay to put yourself first.
Right.
And that is not selfish. It's selfless. It's actually selfish to put other people first and then show up poorly for them. So you're better off putting yourself first. And I think we've figured out a way to kind of balance all of that.
My kids are going to have to take care of me when I'm aging. I really want to delay that as long as possible. I want to, so I think it feels selfish because of the stigma, but in the end, you're really serving everyone else by remaining independent and strong and healthy for as long as you can.
Yeah. Thank you for coming back. You have a lot going on. You've got a 3-year-old with a broken arm at home, second broken arm in 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Traumatic.
It was
I did sign up for a CPR and first aid course because when it happened and his arm was visibly broken, I couldn't function. I was like so shocked. And everyone is like, even if you're trained, you still might feel that way. But I am I'm a person who follows the book and I need to read the book. I need someone to teach me the book of what to do in an emergency, how to assess it, what to do first. Like, if there's a broken bone, stabilize it and move it. None of that stuff came to me.
I should probably do that with you.
I'll send you the details. It's in my neighborhood.
Because I don't have little kids, but that doesn't mean I won't be around them. I mean, we have a young nephew, who will be 1 this month. And, there's, you just never know. And then you have your 2 kids. I mean, I don't know.
You live next to mom and dad who are getting old.
That's for sure.
It's going to be you, girl.
It's going to be us, girl. We're in this together. I actually thought you handled it well. It was a pretty traumatic moment, and I thought you handled it
Andrew handled it excellent.
I think you guys handled it. You both handled it well. I texted him and told him that. I think you guys both did. Ben was standing over him, and Ben just goes, "Dad?" Like, Ben was like, something's wrong with Alex. He could just, I think he stayed so calm.
Alex handled it the best of anybody.
He really did. He was amazing. He was just like,
well, yeah, okay. I told you at the hospital, we're like, Alex, you have to stop jumping and playing rough. You're going to keep getting hurt. You have to stop jumping off of furniture. And he was like, I'm not going to stop.
That's so Alex,
with
though.
With his broken arm. Like, don't move. Your arm is broken. He's like, I'm not going to stop.
He was like, that's fine. It's worth it. I think that's a boy thing, too.
But now he's sad. He needs to learn.
He's bummed about it, but that's parenting. And you figured out how to work and do everything while still managing a baby with a broken arm. Not a baby, but your baby.
He is my baby.
Yeah, he's your baby.
He's only 3. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
I think he's still a baby. He's not a baby.
I can still pick him up.
Yeah. I can still pick up Ben.
Really?
Barely. I'm strong enough. I mean, he's 5'10" now.
You can like pick him up and put him down.
He's 5'10". I don't know how much he weighs. He definitely weighs more than me, but
I should say I can carry him.
Yeah, I cannot
He's
carry
still in a
him.
crib.
I did tell Ben that for Christmas, I want him to just let me snuggle with him for 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that on a recording.
And he's like, Mom, I'm not giving you that gift. And I'm like, it doesn't cost you anything. That's what I want for Christmas.
Oh my gosh. I was holding Alex last night thinking, how many more times can I do this?
I used to do that all the time. Just think, when is it? I don't want it to stop. But every phase is beautiful. Every phase they're in is my favorite. It always is.
I was like, I'm going to get a puppy. That's what I was thinking. I need a very affectionate puppy.
Well, we have the cats. That they definitely are.
It helps, right?
Yeah, it does. Nola sits with me all the time.
Yeah, it's nice to have just the physical,
the warmth of another being snuggling you. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming back. I know you made this a priority today, and I appreciate you coming back.
Me.
I mean, we talk every day, and I love our conversations, and I love that my audience gets to hear. You have so much value to add.
Aww.
And I love that you were able to share that with them today. So thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. This was Ashley Plourde, my sister, my only sister, with me today. And I hope you've picked up some life hacks. She has a lot to share. We do a lot of back and forth sharing things, and she's got a lot of things to share. She's extremely intelligent and knows how to function and make everything work. So I hope you took some things today. If you found value in this episode, please like, share, comment, rate, review, and subscribe. And we'll see you back here next time.